Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture number 4 of computer networks. Okay. So in the previous lecture we learned about some terminologies related to the network, like what is a node, what is a server, and what is basically NIU. Okay. So in today's lecture we are going to uh, discuss about some switching techniques. Okay. So what is basically this switching technique means? Switching techniques are used to efficiently transmit data across the network. Okay. So switching technique basically focus on the process of transferring data from one system to another system, or you can say that how a data from one system is transferred to the another system. Okay. So this is basically the switching technique, right? And there are various switching techniques, but in our course curriculum we have to learn about the two switching techniques, right? The first one is basically the circuit switching technique, and the second one is packet switching technique. Okay. So basically we are going to learn about these two switching techniques, right? So first we start with the circuit switching. So let me first explain you that what happens in the concept of circuit switching, right? And then we will come to the explanation, right? Suppose let us take an example, and suppose this is my computer. This is my computer number A. Okay, this is my A computer, right? And suppose I have another computer, and let me name this computer as this is my B computer. Okay, these both computers are located at the different locations. Okay, and suppose in between there are many switching stations available, right? Switching stations, you can say that I think that you have seen towers on the roof of many buildings. Okay, so those towers are basically the switching stations, right? So let us see that from in between these two systems, as they are located at different locations, there are many switching stations. Okay, so these are the various switching stations, right? Now A has some data, and A wants to send this data to the station that is B, right? So over here the A has to send some data to the switching station to the system B. Then what will happen? First a signal from the system A goes to the nearby switching station. Suppose these three are the nearby switching stations. Okay, then the switching station which is free for carrying the data will send the confirmation, and then a path from the source system to that switching station will be booked. Okay, so this switching station is booked for sending the message, right, from A. After that, then this switching station sends the message to the nearby switching station. Okay, and suppose this switching station told that now he is free, then this switching station establish a connection between this one, and then this switching station sends the signal to the nearby switching station that whosoever will be free for the communication. Suppose this switching station is free for the communication, then the connection is established between these two, and then this switching station sends the signal to the source computer. Okay, so you can see that in this way, first the independent path from the source computer to the destination computer is established. Okay, so this one is basically my source computer, and this one is my destination computer. So what will happen? First the path, a dedicated path from the source computer to the destination computer is established, and when the path from source to the destination computer is established, then the data travel from the source computer to the destination computer by following this given path. Okay, so in this way the data reaches from source computer to the destination computer. Okay, so this is basically the concept behind the circuit switching. Okay, so in circuit switching, first a particular path is reserved from source computer to the destination computer, and when the path is set, then the data is transmitted from the source computer to the destination computer. Okay, so what will be the points that we have to learn about the switching techniques is circuit switching is that the first point is that the circuit switching is a technique in which a dedicated and complete physical connection is established between the two nodes. Over there you can see that a dedicated and a complete physical connection is established between the node A and the node B. Nodes, as we already discussed in a network, node is called as the system. Okay, so first the dedicated path is established between the source node and the destination node, and then through this dedicated node communication channel the nodes may communicate, and with the help of this dedicated channel both the systems can communicate with each other. Okay, so you can see over this diagram also, suppose the A is my source computer, right, and suppose this C is my destination computer, and this has to send data to C. So first the path from source computer, that is A, and the destination computer, that is C, is first established. Okay, once the connection path between the source computer and the destination computer is set, then after the data from the source computer is transferred to the destination computer. Okay, I hope it is clear to you, right? Then the next thing is that this circuit, as when the circuit switching concept is used, so when the dedicated path is established between the source computer and the destination computer, so that circuit guarantees the full bandwidth. Obviously, when this whole path is reserved for the communication between A and C computer, then this whole line is completely used for the transmission of data between A and C, right? So you can see that, you can say that the complete path bandwidth, okay, is basically used only for this communication, right? So no other data will use this path for sending the data while when the connection is established between the source and the destination computer. Okay, so this circuit guarantees the full bandwidth of the channel and remain connected for the duration of the communication session. So this connection is maintained till the communication between the A and C system is completed. Once the communication between the A and C system is completed, then this connection will break and we can use this connection for some other communication, like after that B system can communicate with the D system through this communication line. But once the communication between A and C is going on, then no other can use this dedicated link, right? And the next thing is that the example of circuit switched network is the early analog telephone network. Okay, I think that you have heard about the landline phones, right? So these are two landline phones. Okay, so when a person start dialing a number from this landline phone, okay, and when its call passes, so there are various switching stations. In that case, various lines are reserved for it. Okay, you can see that in each of the switching station various points are reserved for this communication. Okay, so over you can see that once the data from this voice data from this telephone line moves from this point to this point, okay, then to next switching station, and from this point to this point, right, and then it moves to the next switching station, and from there this point to this point. So a dedicated path is established between these switching stations, and then once the dedicated path is established between these switching stations, then their communication is going to be done, right? And during their communication is going on, no other call can be connected using these lines, right? So one of the example of circuit switching network is basically the telephone network. All right, in this network, when a call is made from one telephone line to another, right, switches within the telephone exchange, right, there is a telephone exchange, creates a continuous wire circuit, right, continuous wire circuit between the two telephones as long as the call lasts. Okay, so they basically establish a dedicated connection between these two telephone lines, and all this done by the in between the switching telephone exchange, right? And once the communication is established between these two, the communication path is still reserved till the communication ends between these two systems. Okay, now after that, the next switching technique is basically the packet switching. So what happen in case of the packet switching, right? So in packet switching, packet switching is basically a switching technique in which the data is divided into packets. Okay, so what will happen? Whatever data user want to send, first that data is divided into small packets, and these packets are routed between nodes over data link shared with other traffics. Okay, so let me explain you this one also. Let's open a black screen first. Right, so over here, suppose we have, this is my source computer. Okay, we call it as source computer, and there is one more computer, and we call that computer as the destination computer. So the data is transmitted from the source computer to the destination computer. Okay, and in between there are various switching stations. Okay, we show the switching station by these cross symbols. So there are various switching stations available. All right, so how the communication will be done? Suppose this source computer want to send a particular message to the other system. Okay, and suppose the message which he wants to send is basically hello, right? He wants to send a message that is, suppose the message is basically hello friends. All right, just wait, let me just shorten the message first. Right, in spite of that message, let me take a small message. Okay, so suppose the message that source computer has to send is basically A, B and C. So this is the message that source computer wants to send to the destination computer. Okay, so before sending this data to the destination computer, first the source system divides this message into small packets. Okay, so what will be the packet? That packet contains, the first thing is basically the source address. The second thing it contains is basically the destination address, right? And then it contains the sequence number, and as suppose the sequence number of the first packet is 1. Okay, so it contains source address, destination, and suppose the sequence number is 1. Okay, and then the message that is basically A. So in this way the first packet is ready. Then the second packet is created, in which the same information, first the source address, okay, then the destination address, then the sequence number of the packet, that is this is the packet number 2. Okay, and then the message that is B. So this message will be stored in the second packet, and then the third packet is created. Okay, in this third packet the source address is there, then the destination address is there, then the sequence number, that is third. Okay, and then the message, that is C. So what happened? First the data is divided into the packets. Okay, what will happen first? First the data which the user want to send, is that data is divided into these packets, and then once the data is divided into packets, each of the data moves through different path. Okay, so suppose the packet number 1 first moves to this switching station, all right, and then the packet number 1 moves to the yes, suppose after that the packet number 1 moves to this second station, and then it reaches to the server system. Similarly, when we talk about the next one, okay, so the second number packet which is sent to this, the second number packet moves to this system. Okay, the second number packet moves to this switching station, then it moves to this switching station, right, and after that the second number packet moves to the destination. And similarly, when we talk about the third packet, okay, so this third packet, this is a third number packet. Okay, so this third number packet first comes to this one, right, and suppose after that this third packet comes to this switching station. Okay, when this switching station is free, it can use this packet also, this switching station also. Then the message reaches to this switching station, and then finally the message reaches to the destination. So over here you can see that first the message is divided into different packets, and each packet moves to the different destination path, move to the different path to reach to the destination. Okay, so each of these packets follow the different path, and finally they reaches to the destination. Suppose at the destination, what will happen, the packet reaches in, suppose like in this order, first the packet number 2 reaches, right, then the packet number 1 reaches, and then the packet number 3 reaches. Okay, so once all these packet reaches to the destination computer, then what will happen, this destination computer reassemble these packets on the basis of their sequence number. Okay, so what first it will set the packet number 1, then it will set the packet number 2, okay, and after that it will set the packet number 3, and then it obtain the message from these packets. As from the first packet the message is basically A, and from the second packet the message is basically B, right, and from the third packet it receives the message as it is C. So now, while after combining this message, the destination will get the information that the message is basically A, B and C. Okay, so this is basically the message, right. So what will happen in this switching technique, first the message from the source computer is divided into different packets, and each packet contains the source address, destination address, sequence number and the part of the message, right, and when all packets are created, then these packets follow the different path and reaches to the destination. Once these packets are all received at the destination point, then the destination system arranges these packets on the basis of their sequence number, and once they are arranged with the help of the sequence number, then it retrieves the message from all these packets and arrange the message to get the information sent by the source computer. Okay, so this is basically the entire procedure in the packet switching, right. So let's see what are the points. So over here it is written that packet switching is a switching technique in which the data is divided into packets, right. So we have seen that in the source computer the message is ABC. So first that message is divided into different packets, and these packets are routed between nodes over data links shared with other traffics. So once these packets are created, these packets are routed, or we can say these packets are sent through different network paths, okay, so that they can reach to the destination. So in this you can see that the example also, suppose this is the source system and this source system wants to send the packet, right. So as I have already explained you that suppose this system created 2 packets. So one packet reaches to the destination through this path. This you can see that packet 1 is going to the destination through this path, right, and following this path the packet 1 reaches to the destination, whereas packet 2 follows this path, that it comes to this station, then packet 2 comes to the this station, then it moves to this station, and ultimately it comes to the destination. Okay, so both packet 1 and packet 2 reaches from travels from source to the destination through different paths, and ultimately they come to the destination system also, right. So finally they reaches to the destination system. So each packet contains a header with information necessary for routing the packets from source to destination. As I told you, then when the packet is created, the packet contains some information like the source address, okay, the address of the system to which that packet belongs, the destination address, the address of the system where the packets want to delivered, okay, where we want to deliver the packet, the sequence number of the packet, and then the message. Okay, so the source address, the destination address, the sequence number, etc., etc., these are basically the headers which contains the information which is used for delivering the packet. You know, when the packet reaches from, suppose, this point to this point, okay, so how this station knows that where I want to send this packet, okay, and from where this packet come. So obviously what how this system can know? It reads the source address from the packet and the destination address. So on the basis of destination address, he sends the data towards that system and through any of the switching station which lies in between the destination computer. So once this system knows that, okay, the destination is this, then according to the destination address, it will decide that in which direction I have to send the packet. Okay, so without the destination address, if this switching station don't have the destination address of the packet, then how it can deliver the packet to another switching station, because he don't know that in which direction he has to send the packet, right. So with the help of the header information, the routing of the packet from source to the destination is performed, right. And the main advantage of packet switching is that packets from many different sources can share a line, right. So you can see that, suppose this is a line, right, we can say that this is a line. So it is not necessary that this line can be used for sending the packet off from this computer only. No, any other computer which is also a part of this network can send the data and use this line. Okay, so it's okay that when a particular packet is transferring from that line, once the packet passes through that line, then the other packet can use this line, right. So in this way, packets from many different sources can share a line, so allowing a very efficient use of the communication medium, right. So in this way, the packet switching run in a smooth manner. So these are the two switching techniques. Okay, I hope you understand that what is the basic difference between these two switching techniques. So that's all for today. Thank you very much and have a nice day.